All right, let's get started on the report. So I am in a smart menu and reports. There are three separate icons. Let's go over productivity. And when you go in productivity, there are two different sub menus there. One is the productivity chart, the other one is security chart. Everything under productivity, it's all about productivity. Now there are six different charts that you see here. The first one is about apps usage, which says which websites do you log in into the most. So that is what it tells you really. For example, in this case, I know it helps me understand I spend 83% of my time on using Facebook. The next one is which browser do you use mostly? From what I see here, almost 100% is been Chrome. Now, which IP addresses I come from, whether it's an office location, is it, I'm outside at the, coffee shop, or I'm at home. So it tells me which is the most location I log into. And also which shared group I use most. So these are different groups that I use most. Or it could be groups that I already selected. Maybe, I have a group called family, or a group called, or a shared folder called the airport travel. So it shows basically which one I use mostly. Now, device security, which devices do you use most? I really, beside this PC, I have not used this account on other PCs. If I had, iPhone, iPad, Android, then it would have showed me, which devices I use mostly, and also account activity, which is what time of the day do you most often use, this LogMeOnce account. So end of the day, what this really shows you, it's a productivity tool to help you manage your time in a better manner. Under security chart, we have a 2 weeks chart of activity in the account. For example, it shows that on Friday how many times I successfully logged in, how many times I logged in. It shows all the total, how many times I did auto login. Shows the total all of the activities, and imagine if this is filled with different types of activities that auto login that I do. Now, on this chart, the live password tracker, it first of all, it takes sometimes, you use the account, and based on that activity, it looks at how the password strength was done. For example, on March 10, based on the number of passwords I did, total overall password strength was 80%. But later, I added on March 12 more password, but I used weak password. So the password strength of those passwords, so it dropped down my total password strength. So it became 49%. So when you run this for some time, you can really, drag within the area, zoom in, and understand, uh, you know, in a live manner how you're decreasing or increasing your password strength. End of the day, it's so important to ensure your password strength is high, so it will help with the identity risk score you have while you're doing anything online. Okay. The next item we're going to talk about is scorecard. If I click on a scorecard, it shows me the most important part of this scorecard is the identity risk scorecard. This is a collective number that we calculate based on 7 different criteria, and those are 3 of them is shown here: leaked password, dark web monitoring, and hybrid identity score, which is the same 3 here. The other 4, which are all password score related, it shows in the other tab. So if you add all these 7 different things, it shows how we calculate all this number. So the D minus is really a calculation based on this different item. So I'm going to go through each of these risk scores to see, what has been the risk, my risk score on this account. Now, leaked password, in this account, I don't have leaked password yet. I will include it later and make a recording on that. But it just, tells me I need to, include the dark web monitoring. For dark web monitoring, when I do dark web monitoring as default, because I have not purchased the module, it does only do my current email and shows me, because it's a new account, there no breach was found. I just created this email account a few days ago. Now, hybrid identity score, it automatically looks at some metrics and best practices, and based on those best practices, it helps you really automatically tell you, what are the areas you're missing. For example, you need to have 2FA. Did you install LogMeOnce mobile app? Have you been, using passwordless login? End of the day, you want to make sure you increase your score. That is really what's the most important thing of all. Now, when we go to password score on the other tab, you see the other four elements. The first one is overall password element, password strength. Here it shows me I have 7 different passwords. Two of them are duplicates, the other ones are not, and then password strength is low, and all the way it goes to 100%. So the idea is, what it really is asking me is, these are the first thing you need to tackle and fix right away. Now, if I go to master password strength, master password strength is the password I use to log into the account, to LogMeOnce account. So it calculates that as well, and it shows me what it is. At any time I want to recalculate it, I can type it, and then it will recalculate it for me. Now, application password security is another policy that is all automatically calculated based on those 7 different passwords that I had. As you look at it, there were 7 different passwords. For example, the first one is, how many of my passwords are over 15 characters? None of them. So that's not good. So it says it is really weak. Then it looks at how many are uppercase, how many are numeric, special character, duplicate password. So based on these different password parameters, it comes with the application password policy. Now, keep in mind, in front of each chart, there is a information icon. You can mouse over and read about what this chart really means. Now, when you go to protected login score, we have done really something very intelligent here. If you use LogMeOnce to log into different accounts, that means you don't remember the password. You have created a strong password. So in those cases, we say those are protected logins. But if you log in manually without LogMeOnce, that means you remember those passwords. And the chances of those passwords to be weak or memorable is very high, because you remember them and that's what you used to log in. So we differentiate between these two, and we tell you how your score is, so we help you to protect your account. Now, next, we'll talk about activity on the report. Activity shows you a list of, it shows you there are a total of 32 activities, and it shows everything is sorted based on date and time. You can sort them. What type of event was that? For example, a site was created, login attempt, all these different events. Right now it shows only 10 per page. Because of this, I can scroll and show all the, let's say 100. I can see all of them. I can see based on what devices came in. If I use mobile device, it gets logged here as well. Which browser I used, which application I logged in. So it shows everything and what I really did. And there's a filter right below. I can hide this filter and unhide it. For example, I can come and say, show me all the events that was related about login. I click on login. It shows me everything that was about login. Then I say, show me things about logout. I see things that I did to use logout. Similarly, site created or password change. So me password change. I can see, every time a password was changed. So it shows me really great detailed information about how the application was used. I can do it based on do searches based on the client. I can do search based on when I logged in last onto the system. I can also search, let's say, based on application. I know, it is showing me all the activities and searches I did on the Facebook app. So it is searching based on those as well. Any event I calculate and, filter out, I can very easily export it and export it to CSV and use it for, any purpose in future. Very good. We talked about reports. So what's significant until now? We've been talking about password management. So that is one of LogMeOnce product and all the different features of password management that you can do. Everything around here is all about password management. LogMeOnce also has identity protection, and we touched about it in the scorecard a little bit. Identity protection is dark web and leaked monitoring. For dark web, we already covered it. Since I haven't included, I haven't purchased dark web here. You don't see it, but if dark web was there, you would have seen some data. I will create a separate video on that. Now, when you look at leaked, password monitoring, it's really the same thing. It will look at the leaked password and monitors it. I don't have the product yet. Now, we also provide, as part of identity protection, not only we monitor your password and identity, we also have an anti-theft solution. Now, with anti-theft solution, under device management, there are two submenus: device management, remote checkup. Device management shows a list of all devices being used to log into my account. For example, if I use a mobile device and log in, I will see it here that I use a mobile device to log into this account. And then when I click on it, just like in this case, it shows a map of where this device was last seen, and I'm currently logged in. Then I can, if it was a mobile device, I could have seen a list of application installed on the mobile device. I can, wipe LogMeOnce on the mobile device. I can ring it. I can do a bunch of activity depending to whether I'm using, iOS or Android device. And I can also see battery life and a set of other information available. I can also filter it, like filter it based on OS, filter it based on the session that are active, not active, filter it based on when device was online last, date that was created, and whether passwordless login can be done. Again, all these items that I can do, all the filtering, it can be exported. I can hide the filter if not needed. And if I have a YubiKey and I want to add YubiKey, I can come to add, device and add YubiKey to the, to the account as well. So, very good. Let's go to remote checkup. Remote checkup, it shows basically my list of active devices and where they are. So if I zoom out, I will see all that information. Now, if, for example, if I have multiple, if I use logging from office, home, different location, I can see them all right here. Now, one of the nice features of this remote checkup is I can, if let's say I'm in the office and I realize my computer at home is still logged in, I can come here and do a remote logout and log out of LogMeOnce at at home. So this is another set of features LogMeOnce provides. I can again provide filtering option and filter on different categories of data there. Now we talked about anti-theft as well. LogMeOnce has a third product. It's called Cloud Encrypter. As default, when you get Family Edition, you get 10 gigabyte of storage. Now, this 10 gigabyte of storage is the storage for LogMeOnce. You can buy additional storages if you need to, but you can also add Dropbox account, Google Drive, and OneDrive. Adding these two products is add-on, and it is part of our cloud storage, services. But using LogMeOnce is already included within 10 gig. If you add any of the other product, it is unlimited space based on whatever you have in those services. If I don't want to see this, I just hide it, and that will go away. And what I can do is, okay, now let me take a file and just put it. This is an image. I can take an image. Oh yeah, let me do this. I'm on the other system. Okay. Now on this system, let's say this is my picture. I want to, move it from my hard drive to LogMeOnce. What really happens is we are a zero knowledge company. What that means is, as soon as I drag this file here, this gets encrypted, and after it gets encrypted, it is transferred to the cloud. And we show you the status of encryption and uploading it to the cloud. And before I drop it, you'll see the time it takes to encrypt this file and how long it takes to upload it. It's really, really fast. So I drop it, encryption is done, uploading takes more time. So I can do add I can add new folders. Let's say I added my folder. This is my new folder that I add. I log in and I come to this location. Now I have another image file or any document. It should be my IRS tax document. I can encrypt it. So what I do is I drag it. This file is about 700 kilobyte. Drag it and upload it, and then it goes here. What really happened was the data was encrypted using my key, and it is transferred to the cloud. So it's in the cloud that I have all this data. But over there, it's actually encrypted. Nobody will have access to my data in the cloud. Now, if I'm going to go back to root, that's where it will be. If you remember, I saved some data in the notes section, and let me, show you here. Let's see if this was here. Yeah, you see, I had some notes in the Facebook. And now that note is actually saved also in the cloud in here. So if I click on application, I see it here. Let's look at what it was. It was Joe Family Demo. If I go back to Joe Family Demo, I will see that file that was added. So this provides really extensive way of securing your data and giving protection to your files, documents, and images. Okay, now let's see what other options we have to discuss. I think we have really gone over all the features of LogMeOnce app for Family Edition. And thank you for your time for you know being with me and walking through this walkthrough. Thank you.